Hello everyone. Thank you for taking the time to come to this webinar. Today, our session is about a very important program, the Schulich Mini-MBA for a clinical professional entrepreneurship program. And this program is actually designed by professionals and by also academics from Schulich School of Business. And what I want to do today with you is I will be giving you an introduction about the team and the program in general. Then I will go actually in an overview over the program. We will talk about the different components and expectations from the program. And we will leave the room by the end of the session for any questions, any inquiries, and so on. So it's very easy. You can ask, you can type any question. Either we will answer it immediately or we will ask the team to provide an answer as we progress through the session. Usually we take about 50 minutes for everything. So hopefully we will not go beyond that. I mean, like, I remember last time, Robert, people were very, very, very enthusiastic that we have to stop at 60 minutes because there were like questions pouring in and lots of interest. But
I was even going to say the amount of emails and messages I got after that program or after that last webinar series was intense. There was so much engagement. It was great.
So that's great. We hope to do the same. So please, any question you have in mind, just write it for us, and the team and myself will be more than happy to address your inquiries. So our starting point is with the team. Who is behind this program? And our director for this Mini-MBA is Dr. Sapna Sriram. Sapna, would you like to tell us more about yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be joining you this evening. As Wissam mentioned, my name is Sapna. I'm actually a practicing chiropractor and registered acupuncturist as well. I've been practicing for about 15 years. I do have an MBA from Schulich School of Business, and I'm also a clinic owner for 2 locations in downtown Toronto, which are both multidisciplinary clinics which combine medicine, wellness, and rehab together.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Sapna. Of course, we're going to hear more from you as we progress through this session, and you will tell us more about the different components. Rami Mayer is the SEEC Executive Director. SEEC is Schulich Executive Education Center. Rami, could you tell us more about yourself?
With pleasure. Good evening, Wissam and panelists. Good evening, participants. I look after all the non-degree part of the Schulich School of Business. A little bit about us. We are #1 business school, considered #1 business schools in Canada, and ranked among the top 20 in the world. Our executive MBA in collaboration with Kellogg is ranked #1 in Canada and top tier in North America. Why is this important? Why am I telling you this? Because the same instructors that are part of the award-winning MBA program will be part of the journey that we have built specifically for clinician, augmented with practitioners who have done it. So we are excited to have you. We have very extensive experience in the health sector. With the Ontario Medical Association, UHN, Sunnybrook, Hospital for Sick Children, and the list goes on and on. So we're very familiar and grounded in the sector. We have a Master's of Healthcare as part of the MBA, and we're excited to have you here.
Thank you, Rami. And then we have Robert. Robert is actually I'm going to share with you what do I call Robert at SEEC. Robert is our Mini-MBA guru. So he has been running with this brand of SEEC, and he's going to tell us more about what he does at SEEC and what is this Mini-MBA guru all about.
Thank you, Wissam. For the Schulich Executive Education Center, as Rami mentioned, our sweet spot is healthcare. And we actually, for the first time ever, this January, we launched our first ever physician Mini-MBA. Needless to say, it was a sold out program. We had a waiting list. So we had physicians from across Canada sign up for the program. Based on the success of the Physician Mini-MBA 3 months ago, we launched a brand new Dentist Mini-MBA. And that program, again, is sold out. It launches this coming Friday, the day after tomorrow. We have 26 dentists across Canada enrolled in the program. We were also asked, not only were physicians asking about a program for themselves, the dentists specialized for dentists, we also had those in the allied health clinicians saying, what about us? And so Dr. Sapna Sriram worked together with us to develop a customized program for clinicians. So again, this program launches June 23rd, so a little more than 4 or 5 weeks from now. So if you're interested, I'll send my email address and you can reach out to me. That way, we want to make sure that, again, if this program is sold out, like the Physician Mini-MBA and the Dentist Mini-MBA, you won't be disappointed. I'll send you my email address now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Robert. And of course, needless to say that each one of these Mini-MBA is a standalone, fully customized to that profession, right? So it's a fully customized one. And this one has been built from the ground up by professionals like Dr. Sapna and her colleagues. So my name is Wissam Al-Husseini. I'm a professor of strategy and leadership at Schulich School of Business. And I will be teaching in this program, also this Mini-MBA. And I have another role that I will maybe tell you more about it as we progress. So the question is, I think you all heard that that Sapna said that she has also an MBA also in addition to this. Well, I'm glad to tell you that this idea for the Mini-MBA came from the MBA program. So Schulich School of Business is very well known for its MBA program, one of the top actually all over the world and the top in Canada. And many professionals like yourselves have been asking Sapna and myself and my colleagues many times, shall I do an MBA? Do I want to pay $125,000? Do I want to dedicate 2 years of my life? Do I have time to attend the classes every other day or so on? And the answer was, for most people, this is a challenge and it needs considerable planning. So we came up with a solution. We decided to take the essentials of this MBA program. And when we say essentials, we're talking about the most important business acumen topics. So we're talking about strategy, marketing, HR, finance, etc. Put them all together in an applicable format and add to them the context of professionals like yourselves. And then put it into a manageable timeline. So instead of the 2 years, we're going to put it into 6 months. And then you have your Mini-MBA. So this is one of the most important certificate programs that you will ever actually attend. And I will tell you why later on as we move on. So what are we hoping to achieve of this? We are hoping to actually help you discover more about the leader in yourself. Many of you, as they were talking to Sapna, they expressed their interest in growth and moving beyond what they have right now, collaborations and so on. That leadership, those potential, we will help you find it in yourselves. That entrepreneurial spark, this program will give you the tools to reignite that spark and help you push forward and make the next leap in your career. Of course, add to it our huge networking effect. I mean, like Schulich and SEEC have one of the largest network or alumni network in the country and internationally. So this is all what went behind the Mini-MBA. But I know, Sapna, that you, from a practitioner point of view, you also had a deeper point of view for what does it mean for a practitioner like yourselves to have those skills in a Mini-MBA program. So could you just give us some insights?
Absolutely. I think a big challenge when you're in professional schools studying to be the best clinician you can be, you're really focusing on your clinical acumen. You're really trying to develop your skills to better suit and serve your patients. And, we get out into the real world and we think, okay, I'll build my practice, I'll join maybe a clinic or I'll start my own clinic. And there'll be a lot of learning mistakes. And I think what's inherently problematic in our industry is that we rely so heavily on experiential learning. Experiential learning is very important, and I do think that's part of why we call it practice. However, what we notably do in our careers, and this is across pretty much all medical and wellness sectors, is that we look to see what our colleagues above us are doing, and we follow that roadmap. But it's an expensive roadmap. It's a stressful roadmap, and often at times it doesn't really elevate ourselves. It really just helps us put ourselves into a place where we're developing ourselves, but not really identifying if we're really capitalizing or maximizing on our opportunity. And something like an MBA, that's catered to our actual demographic and our discipline is massive, because what we're getting in this program is an actual playbook. I think one of the biggest things for me when I did my MBA at Schulich was I really developed myself in terms of my mindset and my perspective to really, I shaped myself into the clinician I wanted to be right away. I think a lot of people don't know this, but I actually did my MBA as soon as I graduated. So I went from being a student to a student right away, with one summer off. And actually, I'm really glad I did that, because a lot of the times, we kind of think I'll take that course or I'll do that education when I need it. But one of the things that I found was the most profound outcome of me doing my MBA was the mindset. I was able to actually use my MBA mindset and thinking to shape the clinician that I wanted to be, which inherently let me become the clinic owner that I am today. And, regardless of all of that, amazing, sort of opportunity in the MBA, one thing that was really shortfalling there for me was that there wasn't a playbook on how to actually start a clinic, grow a clinic, scale a clinic. And I mean, sure, there was a lot of backbones, but what I felt I had to pull for those resources. And that's really, 10 years kind of coming moment opportunity with Schulich is now being able to actually, curate all of the frameworks, the ideas and the fundamentals into a playbook for clinicians today from Schulich. This is kind of why this program really was an aha moment for all of us. I think it's such a missing gap. We are all business owners and we don't like to talk about business because we're in the business of healthcare, but there's business behind healthcare. And I think it's really important that we get that bridged education.
And Sapna, this is the beauty of this program, because it's actually combining the two worlds. So the world of the business acumen and the world of actually your practice. So it's going to be from professionals to professionals, the program. So why don't we take the attendees through actually the program, and maybe I'm going to ask your help, my dear colleagues, to unfold the program for us. So it all starts with actually a winning statement. So the first day of our sessions is going to be with a Canadian athlete, a very renowned one, and he is going to help you set the tone for the whole program, which is providing a winning statement. What are you going to do to provide that winning statement? And then we are going to talk about the healthcare transformation, the healthcare sector transformation. The second session is going to be about strategic management. I'm going to talk to you about how do I set a long-term vision? How do I keep my mind set on my target? How do I develop an understanding of my context and environment and so on? But what's going to happen next is something that usually is not very intuitive, Sapna. Marketing? I am a practitioner. I am a professional. Marketing? Do I need to learn about marketing, Sapna?
Well, we do. And I think, the biggest thing is it's that vulnerable, part of us where we have to put ourselves out there, put our business out there. And there's a lot behind marketing. And I think what we often at times, really, again, when I talk about experiential learning, we look to see what our colleagues are doing. What's the latest reels we should be putting out? What should I be on TikTok? Maybe I'll just, have a website and that's it. And I think, marketing is so much bigger than that. Our brand, our identity, our business is our identity. And who are we when we put ourselves out there? And these are just things that, again, it's, it's not taught to us, and we just really don't give it enough insight as to the actual, thought and education behind marketing and branding, and how we can use that to really leverage our skills in the community.
Okay, and it will not stop there. We are going to take it into a context. Actually, we have a dedicated session for the business of private healthcare. Rami, I know that you deal with professionals from different aspects, from the mining industry, from the healthcare industry, from the fintech industry, but they all focus on this entrepreneurship and innovation. And I know that it's a preferred course of a preferred topic of yours. So could you tell us what's the relevance to this to a practitioner?
Absolutely. In 2021, especially, because of the pandemic, healthcare and other sectors, the whole notion of disruption, of being innovative, having an entrepreneurial mindset is a key competency, is a key behavior that an individual must possess in order to be successful. One of the main themes and a big objective of this program is to move you and to think like an entrepreneur, whether you are independent or a part of a hospital or healthcare system, and you can be possess enterprise entrepreneurship mindset. In order for you to be successful in whatever it is your objective, and it is done with a purpose, you will be asked to bring a challenge that is relevant to you. You want to grow your business, you want to open your first clinic, you want to go from 1 clinic to 2 clinic to 3 clinic. There's an aspect of your clinic, the HR is not going out well, the branding, how do you start a business from the ground up, new value creation, which is key in 2021. How did you differentiate yourself from your competitors? It's not obvious always how do you stand out and satisfy the client, and who is your target audience. So all this is going to be developed not only in this module, but also in a specified coaching session and with a project that we will explain it in a little bit onward. So a big theme of this program is entrepreneurship and innovation.
I love that idea, and it is needed definitely more than ever, especially with the current developments. Then finance. Sapna, what's your feeling on numbers and bookkeeping and understanding ratios?
Clinicians are so smart, but the numbers are just something that, it's really difficult. I think it's really difficult for us to really get past certain numbers, the right numbers of what to look for, I think is a common trend and pattern that I see amongst clinicians as well as clinic owners. Something that's really interesting, actually, I hope I'm not going on a tangent, but something that's really interesting that comes up a lot right now, because this just sparked me with what Rami just said about, COVID and the landscape of opportunity and innovation, is I hear a lot of clinicians and clinic owners saying things like, we dipped a little bit in the first wave and the second wave, but now we're just as busy as we were before. And I find when I hear statistics or comments like that, it makes me wonder, well, were you already at your maximum potential? What was your actual clinic, ceiling height? Did you really leverage all of your abilities to, grow beyond just your services? And I think it really doesn't allow us to really understand, are we the most efficient and well-run clinic or well-run practice, when we don't look at the right stats and the right numbers to measure, what it was and what is and what can be. So finance is so beyond just knowing your revenue and your profit. It is such an important missing module. And honestly, I hated it in the MBA. I will be very, 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 very truthful, but I am so thankful.
Well, I have good news and bad news for you, Sapna. Which one do you want to hear first?
Oh gosh, I love bad news first. Let's do it.
So the bad, there are actually no bad news with SEEC. But the reality is finance is tough. But the good news, actually, the great news is that it's going to be handled by one, you know this, of course, by Peppino Pascali, one of our top award-winning finance instructors and a practitioner. So they are going to make it a breeze for the attendees, definitely. So I agree with you. I mean, that's why I don't teach finance. So
exactly. And you know, and I was
Wonderful.
just gonna say, there's power in knowing, you know, finance beyond just relying on your accountant. You know, and it's
Wow.
not just about maximizing your returns at the end of the year. So I'm really excited that this module exists, and I hope we can break down the misconceptions of what managerial finance really is and what it can do for your business.
And speaking about good news, I mean, like, we are having questions pouring in right now. So I am taking note of all of your questions, and I will direct them to my colleagues as we progress. But let me just share with you a couple more topics, and then I will start answering and asking my colleagues to help answer these questions. Building and running a successful practice is actually, of course, where Sapna and her expertise is going to come. I think you mentioned that you already run 2 practices. So you are going to be the go-to person if we want to know more about how do I build a successful practice and how do I move forward with that.
And we'll not only just cover, you know, a solo practice or a niche practice, we'll look at different elements. You know, if you're looking to add a new service line, if you're looking to add a new product component to your business, if you're looking to leverage virtual care, if you're looking to, you know, incorporate medical into your practice, if you're looking to, you know, just add various, you know, aspects to your business and how to scale that, this is going to be a really highly, you know, interesting module. And I might even have a couple of great experts joining me on this one.
And I look forward to attend this one. I'm always in for how do I grow a practice. This is a great topic to cover. Actually, Robert, I am going to start addressing some of the questions because they are very important questions. I will start with your favorite, Robert. I'm going to start with your favorite question.
Sure.
Will this program be offered again in the future?
Well, it's a good question. Right now, there are no other dates offered. The only session that is offered is the one that starts on June 23rd. So, you know, our recommendation to avoid disappointment is if you're interested, please, you know, register online. Again, we had the same question asked when we, you know, rolled out the physician Mini-MBA in January this year for the first time. And we had the same question last month when we were doing registration for the first dentist Mini-MBA.
And we were in a tough position because we had to tell people, well, sorry, you have to wait until we don't know when it's going to offer it. So what's the rule that Rami has been sharing with us in entrepreneurship? This is entrepreneurship 101. Grasp the opportunity as it presents itself. Don't wait. Don't wait.
And if I could even just, and I just want to, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said carpe diem. Go ahead, Stefan.
I was just going to add to it just a little bit of backstory too. Like when Robert, Rami, myself, with them, when we were actually trying to curate the professors as well as the industry experts, their availability is also extremely limited. And one thing I will say, I mean, Robert, we're laughing because it was such a challenge and we were very picky. Like we literally picked some of the best, you know, experts and professors to teach these modules. And so I can say from experience that, you know, even just getting them to be available for these modules was it was not easy. And so, you know, we're really excited, and it may not be the same experts, you know, down the road as well. So this is something that I'm really excited about because the actual, you know, people that are joining us in this program are going to be extremely valuable to all of us.
Thank you, Sapna. Rami, the following question is for you, actually. This is someone who's very interested in the program and asking, what is the designation that we will be received? Is it a certificate? And what is the designation?
Yeah, this is a certificate from the Schulich School of Business. It is, it's not the degree part. It's a lot condensed. It's tailored to your need. It's leveraging the best of the best of the MBA along with industry practitioners. Look, I'm also an MBA graduate. I did the international program, and as wonderful as it was and is, it's a collection of people from different industries. And yes, there's learning about it, but this is curated especially for clinicians, There's not going to be dentists in this program or physicians. I know that's one of the questions. It's only clinicians, those that can serve as an example. Another aspect of what we are going to be doing is by the time that you will be graduating, we will be offering micro-credentialing based on competencies that you would have accomplished, as well as digital badging. So you will be able to upload this into your CV. You'll be able to upload this into your LinkedIn and any other social media, Facebook, Instagram, et cetera, et cetera. So we're excited about that. And we're going to be actually the only one in Canada offering it.
Okay, thank you. And I just wrote on the screen one form of how our Mini-MBA graduates write. So you can write your name, whatever your designations are, and then you can write MBA, which stands for this Mini-MBA certificate that you have already covered. Moving on, and I'm gonna address more of the questions they are pouring in, so I'm just gonna continue a bit with the program, and then I'm going to answer and ask my colleagues to help. Robert, HR, the companion for every professional, the most common or frequent question that you get asked when people are registering your programs. What can you tell professionals about this HRM module?
Sure. The biggest cost of running a business is labor or staffing, and payroll, benefits, they can account for as much as 70% of the business cost. So HR is really, really important. You want to get the right team, the right staff. And well, how do you recruit, the right talent? How do you retain them? How do you attract them and train them? I think as well, unfortunately, sometimes you have to know when to let them go. How do you fire them as well? So HR is a core competency, and it's one of the classic MBA courses along with finance, marketing, and strategy. So in all of our courses, whether it's a physician, dentist, or the clinician, HR is one of those key courses. It's foundational.
Okay, Sapna, what's the average number of workers in an average practice? I mean, because many people might be thinking, I will be working solo. Why do I need HR? I mean.
So I think, again, when we look at our practice and we look at where we see ourselves growing, we don't want to constantly be in our business. We want to get to the point where we can be, on our business, where we're at an opportunity where, we have our business running for ourselves. We've worked very hard throughout clinical school. And I think what's really great is to develop a practice where you have colleagues, where you have a team, where you're able to leverage your future leaders who can also help you grow your practice by whether it's a franchise model, whether it's an opportunity to add a second, a third, location like Rami mentioned earlier. And as much as we talk about staff, I think there's a big misconception that staff equals, administrators. But one thing I will say, your team is your everything. Solo practices are definitely something that I think as we move through the healthcare system, you will find is becoming more obsolete. Siloed care is just, again, when you look at innovation, when you look at collaboration, when you look at the patient model, siloed healthcare practices are fizzling out. Group practices, larger scale practices are definitely much more popular, whether that's a combined hybrid now of virtual care mixed with in-person care. And a lot of that means, it's a lot more people to manage, and it's not just your administrative team. And this is why we kind of really pushed for 2 modules on human resource management, because there's going to be a big component on even how you can be an effective leader to your team, including your actual colleagues. So, working, I would say in my role right now, I have a team of about 60 and growing, just in my clinics right now. And, I would say a big component of my time spent is on the HR side. And I love it because culture, because, managing your team, growing your team, and winning with your team is important. And I think to have those right skills is absolutely fundamental, because the last thing you want is to set up a clinic and like we said, have to fire someone or have people quit. That can cripple you.
Right. And of course, there are so many questions about about the time commitment and the timeline. We will be covering this very clearly and tell you exactly what are the expectations. But there is something that maybe, Rami, you addressed partially. There is a specific question that I am a clinic manager, so I'm not a dentist or a physician. I'm a clinic manager. Is this program for me? Can I enroll in this program?
Absolutely. This program is not only for entrepreneurs who are managing their own business or are aspiring to manage their own business, but also those that are part of a system, part of a healthcare. More and more healthcare institutions are focusing on making it profitable, and as Sapna said, the business of healthcare. And those clinicians and managers have a pivotal role in sourcing revenue and other revenue stream from for that healthcare institution. And sometimes it's not from an obvious source, so it's related, to disruption, to innovation, to entrepreneurship. I just want to add to what the panel was saying about the human resources management. And not only for you clinicians, but just in general. People seem to think that is your assets, such as, the building or the equipment that you own are the most important, but it's actually your living assets. It's your people that are your most important asset, because without them, you cannot grow, you cannot thrive, you cannot differentiate yourself. You will learn talent management, you will learn how to recruit, how to develop, how to have the difficult conversation. And everything that comes together culminates in having a successful practice or running a successful department, if that is aspirationally what you would like to do or are doing.
Okay.
Can I just add something to the clinic manager question? Sorry, there's just so much. I feel like I want to say a lot.
No, that's
But with
Yes.
the clinic manager component, I will say my business partner is actually a non-clinician. And one of the things that I've noticed increasingly happening over the past 5 years is seeing a lot more non-clinicians partnering up with clinicians, or I'm seeing clinicians really, growing with a clinic manager to allow the clinic to scale and grow so that the clinician can actually focus on their practice. So whether you're a pharmacist, an optometrist, a chiropractor, a physiotherapist, and you're trying to grow and scale a business. I mean, currently my practice originally started with my business partner and I now have four additional senior managers that now run various departments of our clinic business. And, some of it including business development, operations, marketing, and there's a lot of functions of the practice. And I think, if you are somebody who truly loves to practice and you're really worried about, time commitment, even just thinking about your best manager who can help you scale and grow your vision while you can still continue being, your asset in your clinic, which is maybe you really value treating. But, clinic managers are a great option to allow you to grow your practice in ways that you may not have the time to do.
And Sapna, seeing your passion about the present and about the current structure and so on, will only get me actually not guessing, but knowing that you're not going to leave it at the present. You are actually, you designed a module about the future of the private practice. Could you tell us, I know that you have a line of panelists that are going to join you for that, but any idea what is the forward looking here? What are we looking forward to?
Absolutely. I was really excited about this. One of the biggest things that I find really uplifting and motivating is to always look towards, what is the direction and the overall, vision of our industry. And I think there's a lot of, like, we use fancy words in business school, like disruption and innovators, but it's true. There are. And I think one of the biggest things about this panel, I'm not sure if you guys have had a chance to look it up yet, but we have brought together some serious powerhouse people in our industry. And I was really particular about bringing people from various sectors. So we've got the head of group benefits for RBC. We've got the CEO of WebPT, which is the largest North American physiotherapy. I believe it's a technology platform as well as a practice physical therapy education platform. We've got the owners of an EMR. We've got marketing gurus. We've got so many people who are literally going to be able to share and talk about so many different components of healthcare. We even have someone who runs, all of TELUS's virtual care across Canada. So I'm really, really excited about this panel. I think they're going to bring a lot of gems. They're going to be able to share what they're seeing, what the trends are showcasing in their industries. And it's going to be a great opportunity to also network. And I'm just going to put a plug that a lot of our industry leaders are also female. So I think that's very important, and I'm excited
goes
for it.
For our instructors and professors here also. Yes, we have it. That's very good. Robert, there is a question just very quickly. It caught my attention. I like that question actually. If we are a couple running the practice, can one register and the second just attend?
The way we design the program is it's one per individual. So it would actually have to be just the one person attending. If there's a second person, then normally that second person would register separately.
Okay, thank you. And it doesn't only stop at the knowledge sharing. We're going to tell you why it is very beneficial to register, even if you are more than one person in the same household that run the practice. We're going to share with you some surprises, actually, and additional advantages for registering separately. Sapna, this question actually is addressed specifically to you. I don't know, it seems this is an inside language saying that the chiropractic is the slower profession. I don't know. These are not my words. Someone wrote that in the chat. And they are asking you, I am an intern or a third-year intern or so on. Is it worth it for me to register in this program, or let's leave it for another type of clinician?
Well, again, I'm biased. I told you guys kind of my backstory. I decided that, like I said, for me, the MBA was about getting the mindset. I wanted growth mindset. I wanted leadership mindset. I wanted to go out with a bang and know everything I needed to do and to be successful. And so I did it right away. I don't have regrets for that. And I think a lot of the times, we'll kind of always contemplate the risk and the reward of doing something today versus later. I'm a big believer in, if you're here for a reason. You're on this webinar for a reason. Something has obviously sparked your interest. You obviously have some sort of goals in mind about your career and your vision for your career. So I would always say that, if that's already something that is bringing you here today, you clearly have some sort of passion for this. And to be honest, I've always been that person that if something is screaming at me as an opportunity to potentially shape the future of my career, I don't like to wait. That's just my
I love that insight, Sapna, to be honest. And from what we're noticing from our other programs, we are noticing advanced practitioners, junior practitioners, and the level of interaction within the classroom, the level of networking that is happening outside also is phenomenal, to be honest. And I mean, like getting the experience or getting a fresh point of view, these things, when they happen in a learning setting, I mean, like they are wonderful. Rami, help me wrap things a bit here. So we're talking about these wonderful topics, essentials of any business acumen and leadership and entrepreneurship, context, customized context for the private healthcare, very various guest speakers and very well established. But I know that you're not satisfied with this. You need something. You need the extra mile. What is the extra mile in this program?
The extra mile with Sam is the application and the so what. So as I alluded prior, as part of this journey, you will be giving the opportunity to work on a business plan or aspect thereof that is mostly relevant to you. So, again, whether or not you want to open your first practice, you want to expand, it for one to multiple, there's aspects of your practice, technology, human resources, marketing, aspect thereof that is relevant to you. You will be coached and you will be giving the opportunity to develop during the time frame of the program and get advice from experts, those that have done it successfully, those that have failed and why they have failed, and the lessons learned from that, so you will not make the same mistake. You will pitch it in a Dragon's Den format and will receive feedback. So at the end of the journey, you'll get, in addition to the insights and the ability to network with your peers, the ability to hear from some of the heavy hitters in your industry that you normally perhaps would not have had access to. You will get a business plan that you could implement and add value to your business. And this is tremendous. That aspect alone is worth your time, and it's also worth a lot of money in terms of coachable hours from expert and advice, right? And so you'll have something tangible in the form of a business plan at the end of the journey, which is material. And we know that the physicians and the physicians program are loving it and are giving us good feedback. Again, and it's relevant to you. So if you're a dietitian, if you're a physiotherapist, if you're a chiropractor, if you're a veterinarian, whatever you are, it is not generic. It speaks to your particular needs.
So it's an entrepreneurial project that could be done either individually or within a group setting. And the participants will apply all the knowledge that they will learn in this program in that project. So it doesn't stop only in the classroom, but they will take it beyond. And spoiler alert, everyone, one of the dragons is going to be Sapna, okay? So the Dragon's Den format, Sapna is going to be there, and she's going to help you critique your ideas, push your thinking further, and so on. So Robert, now is for the question that has been asked so many times, and I know these are very busy professionals. How long will all of this take? How long? It seems to me this is like a 10-year journey. Is that correct? Am I right in my assumption?
Well, the good news is it's not a 10-year journey. We have compressed, the 2-year Schulich MBA into a 6-month learning journey. So, but the good news too is that it's not every day. It's not full time. You can still continue your practice, work at the clinic. The program is on Mondays from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 5:30, and then on Wednesdays in the evening. The idea is that we want to be as inclusive as possible and allow people to, have their, daytime free, except for the Monday, and then have their evenings free, except for the one weeknight. But your weekends are free. The evenings, the weekends. Some of our other programs, we have, the courses held on a Friday or a Saturday, and that can be disruptive to families, if you have children. So we wanted to make sure that we could make it as all-encompassing and inclusive as possible. Sapna, I don't know if you wanted to add to that, because I know that we had also
I have a question for Sapna regarding the timing. So Sapna, I mean, like everyone now is filling their census, and it seems that we're going to get these vaccine passport, and we're going to go cottaging or traveling. Are you going to bring me to class during the summertime?
Listen, I am waiting for things to open, and I'm the first to go on a plane. I'm not going to lie. So don't worry. I thought about these things because I'm kind of selfish like that as well. Okay. I want to go out too. So what's really great about the program is it's actually not running very frequently over the summer. There's going to be an opportunity for you to think about your group entrepreneurial project and to get some of that coaching. So it's a lot more informal. I believe there's only 6 hours in total in July, and there's 6 hours in total in August, spread out between, a Monday afternoon and a Wednesday evening if you're Eastern Standard Time. So the commitment honestly is not that vast, and because
all
virtual,
sessions are online, right? So
they're all virtual. Exactly, they're all virtual. And so again, I know clinicians that have signed up that are planning to literally just put in some breaks and still see patients. I know some that are moving around their schedules with their clinic owners. So there's a lot of flexibility. And again, I know I'm backtracking again, but something about the group entrepreneurial project, because a lot of people ask me about, is this really, what's the difference between mentorship versus a business program like this? This is hybrid. You are literally getting the opportunity, especially over the summer as you're working on your group entrepreneurial project, to get that combination of coaching, especially on something that you're really, really focused on right now to help you leverage yourself. So come time the fall, you really have a great execution option to really take yourself, in your business project or plan to the next level when you finish the program.
Okay. So let me then put it all in a perspective here. What's happening here is that we are taking 15 essential business workshops from 12 award-winning instructors that are both academic and professionals. 6 months learning journey with a very carefully picked timing from professionals. I know that Sapna and Robert, you have surveyed many of your colleagues to get the exact time that's not going to put a toll on their professional or personal schedule, with actually some downtime during the summer so that people could enjoy a bit of quality of life, and with one career-changing entrepreneurial project. Robert and Rami, I have 2 questions for you. We'll start with Robert, actually. Robert, is there going to be a reading list required for every session?
There's not a reading list required. I mean, what we normally do is we, in terms of the course material and the content, we have all our material available to you on a portal called Canvas. So you have 24/7 access to that, whether it's the pre-work, the pre-reading, the
when you say pre-work, it's sometimes self-assessment, right? Like self-assessment tools and so on. And
that's right. Leadership self-assessment tool called Leader Gene. So you have everything handy. The idea is that you will be given reading lists by the instructors after. We've, in terms of the physicians, they've specifically asked each instructor, you know, for example, for finance, Pepino, you know, what books or articles do you recommend that we read? For negotiation strategy with Kevin Tassa, you know, what is your recommended reading list? So that we can provide. But generally speaking, the pre-work going into the course is not onerous. It's not like a regular MBA where you would be spending 15 hours doing pre-work before your classes.
I see. Rami, the other question is, will you be taping or recording those sessions, those live sessions? Let's say that someone missed a certain portion of it or a certain topic. Are you going to record these?
Yes, those that are not able to attend a session will have access to a recording of the session, as well as be able to access the instructors to find out the gist of the module, the buddy system where we'll be able to approach a colleague from their network in this class and get some help that way. So yes, we will be taping the sessions. But I just want to caution everybody, you know, this does not give you a license to miss the 15 workshops, you know, because the value comes in. And if you're intending to rely on the taping, you know, we'll caution you against it because it's not available if you miss 15 sessions. But we understand things happen. You know, if you have children, they get sick. You have a patient, you couldn't reschedule, you miss it, you're under the weather. So for those that will need the off, that will have to miss the off session, they'll have access to the tape session.
Okay, thank you. Actually, we have a couple of more questions, but I will just try because we promised everyone that we're not going to go beyond the 50 minutes. So we still have like 4 minutes. So, dear professionals, it's very easy. You are getting the latest ideas from the #1 ranked MBA school in the country. You are going to interact with instructors with several, more than 30 actually, teaching excellence awards. And the extra, there is like some, I know that Sapna, you have some more good news for us. So in other than knowledge, applicable tools, a project that might be the seed of my next expansion or my next movement in life, a certificate from a very renowned institution, there is an extra thing that's So could you tell us a
I
bit?
know, yes, absolutely. We always want to know about CE credits and, can we use this towards our hours? You should be able to. I think in terms of most colleges that I've been already interacting with, including, mine, yes, you are allowed to use them. I think a lot of programs just might be more structured towards, more geared towards, can you use this towards structured versus unstructured? You'll obviously want to check, but because there's so many hours in this program, both on self-reflected readings and projects and learning, as well as the actual structured classes, you should absolutely be able to use a good portion of this program towards your CE credits. Absolutely.
Okay. And if I understand, it's straightforward, right? Like there is no additional effort to be done. Once you get it, you can just apply for additional credits. That's it, right?
Usually, yeah, usually.
Yes, thank you very much. So I would like you to just take in some of the comments or testimonials from your colleagues who already attended similar programs. These were the sentences when we asked them, how do you feel after attending this? And these are some of the ideas. And I would like for you just take these into, this is an eye opener. This helped me push my thinking outside the box. Aspiring entrepreneurial. For me, actually, personally, this is my favorite one. My favorite one is, I wish this was part of my medical school curriculum. As Sapna started this session today by telling you that, yes, in this profession, we are actually one of the top 10% or 20% in society with our intellectuals and so on. Unfortunately, the time and the amount of time we spend on business acumen and leadership is a bit minimal compared to our technical skills. This program is going to help you make the next leap in your career. My advice to you is take out your mobile phones, turn on your camera, and why don't you check this QR code? It will take you to our page, our program page, where you will get all the information that you need about this program. It will give you an idea. So this is the page of our program. Here where you can go and enroll. As you can see, this is the chance that we have right now. There are no future cohorts. So now is the time to make the decision. And here you will find in detail everything we talked about, day by day, time by time, everything, all the expectations for all the modules by date so that you can actually reserve your calendar from now. One more question. We're almost done. This is the 50 minutes mark. So I'm done with what I want to talk to you. So I kept my promise, but there are questions. So Sapna, there is a question that how much hours, approximately, they're not asking for a specific number, should I dedicate outside class time? I know that this question is coming from people that know that they are very busy and they want to get the best out of this. So how much time should I allocate?
I'm just going to say, honestly, you're not going back to school. I think everyone is so scared that they're going back to school. And there's like
if you leave it to me, I'm going to make this as a school time. No, I'm joking.
Like there's no exams. Honestly, you're not studying for the GMAT. I did that. That was really stressful. So listen, you are literally, this is for yourself. It's going to be presented in digestible context that's going to be understandable for you. You're going to find the actual modules themselves are going to be the most that you need with a little bit of supplemental reading. Your group entrepreneurial or personal entrepreneurial projects are not, we're not looking for a 100-page business plan. We are literally looking for you to develop an idea that you have, and we're here to use our expertise to help you take it to the next level. So whatever you're putting into that project is really your passion, which means you got time for it, and it's not going to be as overwhelming as you think. I'm not going to quantify how many hours because I know some people will be so inspired by, a module and want to read more about it. That's on you, but you can put in as much or as little as you want outside of the module hours that we have dedicated.
Thank you very much. And dear professionals, if you have any questions, everything is on our webpage, but please feel free. And actually, I would encourage you to reach out to Robert. So Robert, if you also write your email, please, in the chat so that they can, I know you did it already, but if you write it again so that people have it fresh. Any questions about registration, about requirements, about what is needed, definitely Robert will be more than able to help. I will leave the final 2 words for Sapna and Rami, and then we're going to adjourn. Sapna, Rami, whomever wants to go first.
Sure. Yeah. I just want to tell everybody, that we took the time to customize a journey for you. This is not the first time that we are doing a Mini-MBA. We have it in the public offering for people for different sectors. We've done it successfully in the mining industry. We're currently are very successful with the physicians. We're launching with the dentists. The program's filled in no time from design to launch. We anticipate the case to be here. We encourage you to ask us any questions so you can make an informed decision. We promise it's going to be a fantastic learning experience, both from the modules and the learning, the application in terms of your project, your access to all these industry heavy hitters. We've taken the time to ensure that every aspect of the journey will be valuable to you and will also be fun. And you'll meet 25 colleagues that you may not have met previously. You may strike, lifelong relationship. I know I have in Sapna when we were doing the MBA. We're in touch with some of them until now. We look forward, and I look forward to welcoming you. Sapna?
Yeah, and honestly, I was going to say, I am extremely excited to be a part of this program. And, I think throughout my career, there's a lot of practice management post-educational sort of certifications and coaching platforms. But like I said, there is no heavy hitter like Schulich backing up our industry. We are often at times, especially in a Canadian healthcare, sort of platform or industry, we are usually neglected. We're like the, 2% of the healthcare industry that's predominantly private. We are our own business professionals and we're forgotten about. And I think for the fact that Schulich has literally taken us under its wing and said, we're going to help you become champion business leaders is massive. I am extremely, extremely excited to be a part of it. And I think it's ground shaking. Like, I think, even just talking to all the people that I've spoken to, every single industry expert literally jumped on the opportunity to be a part of this, to be able to tell and share their expertise and their stories, because they understand, and a lot of their successes were earned and learned the hard way. And, even for them, a lot of the same feedback came back from every single person that we invited to be a part of this program. And it was that I wish something like this existed for me earlier in my career. I would have made so many bigger leaps and bounds sooner. I think we're constantly stressed out about where our careers are going. And I feel that, this is something that, like Rami said, you are forming a network, you are forming opportunities. And, just having that name behind your title to say that you're a part of this program from Schulich, trust me when I say that, when I say I'm from Schulich, it opens doors, it opens credibility, and it helps you leverage your business skill set to another level. People will take you seriously. Your opportunities will be open to you, and you will definitely have a mindset and a perspective that most of your colleagues just won't have.
Thank you very much, Sapna. Sapna, Rami, and Robert, I have a very, very, very good feeling about this group. You know why? From minute 1 until now, it's the same people. It's nobody dropped. These people are eager. I'm telling you, these people are eager, and I'm sure that you will find them in your class next June when it starts. So thank you very much, really, for your engagement, for your very good questions, for your attention, and we are really looking forward to seeing you all. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you in June. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Be safe.
Bye.